Hey guys, welcome back, and today we are making an adult turban, and this is completely different from the previous one we made. The previous turban we made, we needed a pattern. With this one we do not need a pattern. So this one just comes with a regular stripe at the front, but you have the option of adding a bow if you want to. You just need to tuck it in. No sewing, nothing, just tuck your bow in. And the front is also different. This is not the fold method, this is a different method. And also we have gathers at the back. So let's go ahead and make this turban right now. So this is the turban that we made a few months ago, and it's just the one we used our pattern, and we just made it and gathered and did everything, and we used the fold method. So there's no seam right here and no seam at the back, and we tucked in our bow and everything we hand stitched. But this is the easier and perfect method, and this is how we are going to make it. So with this one we do not need a pattern. We're just going to be using a regular fabric. I'll show you guys, of course. But with this we will have a seam right here at the back, and we will also have gathers right here, and we will also have this part on our turban, and it is also going to have a bow, but this bow is removable, and when you remove, this is how your turban looks like. You probably saw it earlier on the mannequin. So this is how it looks. It is versatile. You can wear it whatever way you want. So with this video right now, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make this turban using this style right here. And I won't be making this bow with this tutorial because I'm going to add another one which shows how to make the same style of turban, but this time with a fold method, like the way this one looks. So you see, this one is folded and this one is not. So right now I'm going to be showing you guys how I make this one. So you will need a piece of fabric, which is right here, and your fabric needs to measure 21 inches from here to here, or whatever your head circumference is. So if your head circumference is 22, you put 22, 23, put 23. So from here to here is whatever your head circumference is. Mine is 23, but I'm going to be using 21. So 21 is the universal head circumference for an adult. So this, I'm going to use 21, and from here to here I am going to be using 16 inches. So it's 21 by 16. So the first thing you're going to do is I am going to take my piece of fabric and go to my serger and sew from right here to right here, just a regular serger stitch, no folding, nothing, just a straight serger stitch, because I do not want at the end of the time that my fabric will fray apart, and you know what I mean. So using a serger makes it secured, and this is how it looks. Once you use your serger, this is how it looks. So this side is already serged and it's good to go. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my fabric as it is right now, meaning your right side is facing the bottom and this bad side is on top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold 1¼ inch. You can use 1 or 1½. So either 1 inch, 1¼ or 1½, however wide you want this part to be. So I use 1¼ I'm going to fold it like this, and then I'm going to bring it back like that. So I'm going to repeat this is my fabric, right side facing down, wrong side facing up. What we do is you want to fold either 1 inch, 1 1/4, or 1 1/2 right there, like that. And you want to fold it back again. Give it that pinch, fold it back, like that. And what we're going to do is we're either going to pin, clip, or whatever you use. Right. So once we are done, what we're going to do is we are going to go to our serger, not sewing machine, serger. And so from right here to right here. The reason we are using a serger is because this part right here is the part that goes around the head perimeter. I mean around the head, right? Which means it needs to stretch. If you use a regular straight stitch, it will stretch, but it will come apart. So you need to use a serger so your fabric can stretch. So I'm going to go to my serger and sew from right here to right here. This part of our fabric is already sewn together with our serger, and as you can see, our fabric still stretches without the threads coming apart. So the next thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back, which means now the right side is facing on top and the wrong side is facing the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I am going to fold it in half, and I'm going to take it back to my serger, and so from right here to right here, from this end to this end. And the reason we are still using a serger is because this stitch right here is this part right here, which means we still want it to stretch without threads coming apart. If you use a regular straight stitch, your threads will come apart. So you want to use a serger. So I'm going to go to my serger and sew from right here to right here. So we are back and we have sewn from right here to right here with our serger. So the next step, what we want to do is we want to sew from right here to right here. But this time we are going to measure 1 1/2 inch. So take your tape measure, measure 1 1/2 inch from the part that's folded, not the side that's we just used our serger tool. So you want to take your tape measure, measure 1 1/2 inch from this side that was folded, and put a mark, whether you use fabric chalk or a fabric pen, whatever you use. Measure 1 1/2 and put a mark. So your mark doesn't have to be this large, just a tiny spot. I'm putting this big mark because I want you guys to see. So once you put that mark, what we are going to do is you are going to go back to your serger and you're going to sew from right here and stop right here. Leave this 1 1/2 inch without doing anything. So just go so from right here to right here. Leave this 1 1/2 inch space. I have used my serger from right here to right here, and I stopped at this part, and as you can see, if you stop, you will have an opening right here. So once we are done with this part, what we're going to do is we are going to put this aside for a while, and now we are going to work on this stripe piece right here. So you will need a regular piece just like this that measures 5 by 4. 5 by 4. You're going to fold it in half and go so straight line from right here to right here. You can use either a serger or a sewing machine. So sew from here to right here. I use my serger to sew from right here to right here, and the next step I'm going to do is I am going to turn this inside out. And this is how it looks. So the next step, I'm going to bring back my turban piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and put it inside here. This is how it looks. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to make sure this part is on top and this part that we just use the serger to sew is in the middle, but also down, because we are going to be sewing this part together, then we are going to turn it over. I'm going to repeat. Before we put this on our part, you want to make sure the seam that we just did is in the middle. You want to take your piece right here. Remember this part that we just left. You want to put this inside and make sure this is on bottom and the good side is on top. Put it in here. And we are going to sew this part together. So at this point, you either use your sewing machine or a serger. Nothing matters. A sewing machine or a serger, whatever choice you want. I used my serger to sew this part together. I went once, then twice, and this is how it looks. So the next step is we are just going to turn this. This is how it looks, and just pull everything together, and this is how your front is going to be. So now we are going to finish up with the back, and what we are going to do is we are going to take our regular hand needle, only once today, this, and just sew a running stitch from right here to right here. You want your running stitch to start here. Leave this part alone. Just sew from right here to right here. And once you're done, you just want to close this part up. We have done this before on our other turban, so I believe this is not a new step. So we are completely done, guys, and this is our turban right here, and it is ready to wear. I am going to insist measurements may differ. If you have a bigger head, add some inches. If you have a smaller head, take down some inches. My measurements are not the Bible. Play with your measurements and your fabric, and it will be good for you. Always remember, we all start somewhere. Practice will make your work perfect. So keep practicing and don't give up. If you're going to be making this turban for yourself, enjoy it. And if you're going to be making it for business, go make that money. I'm out.